thank you for joining the Northern Miner. We're at the AME's annual Roundup event in Vancouver. Newfoundland and Labrador has yielded exceptional high-grade gold discoveries in recent years. One company aiming to do just that again is Sokoman Minerals. And here to tell us more is President and CEO Tim Froud. Thank you very much for joining me.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, so for the benefit of our viewers who have not been that familiar with the company, please introduce us to Sokoman and your main asset.
Well, we're a Newfoundland-based gold exploration company based in central Newfoundland. Our flagship property, the Moosehead project, is advancing towards a bulk sample stage this year, so it's a very pivotal year for us. We just put out some fantastic drill results this morning that I hope the market appreciate. I know we did trade a bunch of shares today, so hopefully it'll translate into some gains for the stock. But yeah, it's a great project, and we'll be busy on this project starting next Monday when drills start up.
All right, so let's talk about today's results. What are some of the key highlights there? What does the result tell you? How does it further your understanding of the model?
Well, the results this morning are from a program we commenced late in 2024 based on the results of a trenching program we undertook late in the fourth quarter, whereby for the first time in the project's history, even before we had it, we were actually able to see mineralization, high-grade mineralization exposed at bedrock. Because traditionally this project has no outcrop, all the drilling has been blind essentially. So to see the actual high-grade mineralization and be able to map the structures and see the details helped us formulate this 19-hole program that we finished just before Christmas. The 13 holes we released today had some fantastic results, some of the best results, in fact, we probably had in over a year, and suggests that additional high-grade near-surface resources are still there for the taking at Moosehead. In fact, most of these intersections are less than 30 or 40 meters vertically.
Wow.
Including, the highlight hole was 69 grams at over 4.8 meters. That's a heck of an intersection.
That's substantial. All right, so the results this morning does remind a little bit about Newfoundland Gold's Queensway project. Do you see any similarities in the mineralization there?
We're chasing essentially the same style of mineralization. There will be subtle differences in mineralogy and things like that, and they've also got a lot more holes, to base their model on. But essentially we're chasing the same sort of high-grade orogenic model, very similar to the Fosterville gold deposit in Australia. In fact, several leading experts in that type of deposit have seen the core at both Queensway, the Newfound Gold property, and ours, and have given us the two thumbs up that we're indeed chasing the same sort of system. And something else I should have mentioned a bit earlier was the fact that this drilling that we announced this morning is in an area where in 2 to 3 months we'll be taking a bulk sample from our project, a conventional drill and blast bulk sample. So having these high grades gives us more confidence that the sample we will be taking will be one that will adequately represent what we feel is the very high grade nature of this deposit.
Okay. That's very interesting that you have a bulk sample coming up. Aside from the bulk sample, are you also continuing drill work there? What does the strategy entail? How many meters? What's the budget like?
Well, right now we have a drill set to commence follow-up of these results that we put out this morning, commencing on Monday. And we don't have a budget or a target number of meters. We've got 10 holes just basically sitting in the out basket right now that will be the starting point for us. But we'll probably be drilling, hopefully here, as long as we can continue getting these results, well into probably even right up to spring break.
Okay. Now, Moosehead is not the company's only asset in the portfolio. Please tell us about the other assets.
Well, we're a gold-focused company, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that one of our gold properties has actually produced a very interesting lithium discovery. Good things happen when you send good prospectors into the bush. So with a partner, Benton Resources, we discovered high-grade lithium on our Golden Hope property, which is now subsequently named the Killick project. And just to fast forward, in the coming weeks, we're actually going to be spinning out a new company to move this lithium asset forward, called Vinland Lithium. And there will be 3 major shareholders at the start of it: Benton, Sokoman, and Piedmont Lithium, which is our US-based partner that we attracted to help fund this project. And we look forward to launching that probably in the coming weeks, maybe even a month or two at the most.
That's very exciting.
Yep.
Okay, so we've spoken a little bit about it in our previous questions and answers, but please just walk us through the catalysts as you see them unfold for the company over the next 12 months.
Well, right now the focus is on getting a better or the best possible geometry, if you will, of the bulk sample that we're going to take, and that's part and parcel of what this drilling is all about that we just released. So knowing now the actual orientation of the vein at surface because of the trench, plus the drilling that's beneath it, we can now plan our bulk sample drilling blasting program a lot better than if we hadn't had this exposure. So that's Q1, maybe the start of Q2 for this bulk sample. But we're also taking a second bulk sample in an area known as the footwall splay. And it's quite possibly the highest grade zone that we have on our property. Again, multi-holes, multi-ounce material. It's about 200 meters to the east of where this particular press release this morning was taken. And we're going to be doing that a little differently. We're actually going to be using a company, a partnership with a company called Nova. And they've got a proprietary technology whereby they actually map out basically high-grade quartz veins in 3 dimensions, and they actually then have a drill that can actually tunnel down through with a 2-meter wide borehole and actually mine selectively pretty much 100% high-grade quartz. So we're going to use this method then to take bulk sample number 2. So it's going to cost us a little more to get that one done, obviously, when you're talking big rigs and taking holes like that, but for the environment, there's no waste rock because basically it produces crushed rock that's like an air drill. It'll blow it back up the surface and in a tank, and that then will get trucked to a facility for processing. So we're taking about 1,000 cubic meters of material in both samples. That's kind of the maximum size before you actually trigger a full-scale environmental assessment process. So we're trying to keep it low-key. And obviously we've got permits to do bulk sampling, and that'll probably take place, the second sample, in Q3 sometime later this summer. So 2 bulk samples, 2 different types of samples. We'll learn a lot from those in terms of which one could ultimately determine how any future mining takes place on this property, but at the same time raise a little revenue through the obviously if we're going to take a couple of 1,000 tons of material that's grading better than an ounce, I'll let you do the math. Forward-looking statement. So we're hoping to generate a little revenue through this as well that we'll then put back in the ground and avoid any further dilution of the company.
Okay, perfect. That's all we have time for. That was Tim Frout, President and CEO of Sokoman Minerals. Thank you very much for joining me.
All right, nailed it.